So I know 3 videos at once I do this. I want to talk about physical size, and I want to talk about one of the biggest lies of this debate. Now, men know that they have a physical advantage over women. You know when you're in a fight with your boyfriend and he's twice your size. I don't think I've ever been out with a bloke where he wasn't massively bigger than me. I'm 5'2". I weigh between 7 and 8 stone. Very, very rarely above 8 stone. Although luckily lately, not often under 7. But I am actually tiny. Honestly, I look like a scruffy Bratz doll. I really genuinely do. I look like a little scruffy Bratz doll. Most of the activists involved in this, I'm not going to get, bimodal distribution is not a new concept. We do understand bimodal distribution. We use it most often when we're looking at sex-based differences, because it's appropriate. But actually, I don't need to talk about statistics. You stand in a room with the women who've stood up with this. They're fucking tiny. Like, Venice Allen is not, I don't think she's much taller than I am at all. Posey Parker, I think, is shorter than I am. Magdalene Burns is tiny, like really tiny. Heather Brunskill Evans is tiny. There is a massive physical difference between these 6-foot activists. I came home to find Sophie Cook, big hulking Sophie Cook, on Newsnight explaining how what a woman's changed and it doesn't matter. But, when an abusive boyfriend doesn't want to consider his size and just wants to pretend it's not a problem and hits you with it or hurts you, that's because he's abusive, because he's failed to recognise his own power and the limits of his own identity. And that's what's happened with these men. The number of us who are now managing proper risk is fucking disgusting, and it's because male violence is routinely used. And the reason Tanis Wood assaulted Maria McLaughlin, because he wanted her to know that he could. He wanted her to know that he had that advantage, because that's what abusive males do. There's no grey areas. You stand in that room yesterday, you're talking about a group of women who physically, were anywhere, the range of heights was like 4'10" to maybe 5'8". But even the tallest woman was very clearly different to, This refusal to even acknowledge those physical differences is a clear announcement of risk from anyone. And from a bloke, it would be an announcement of risk, and it does not cease to be so, because that bloke has decided his identity means it doesn't matter anymore. It does. And, we can talk all about academic feminism is bollocks, because gender's about power relations. And those power relations are right there in any room, where you've got a room full of tiny women, and you've got masked thugs outside who are fucking 2 feet taller than them. They have used physical violence to back up their coercion, and at that point it was made invalid. But it was just men saying we're men.